against a quarterback that's getting the ball out so quick, like Big Ben, and he throws short so often, what does that do for you guys coverage-wise? Do you have to do things maybe differently against an offense like that?
I don't think you got to do things differently. I think you just got to be, aware of it. Our coach made a big point about this is not a week where you want to jump things. You just kind of want to be aware of it so you can catch, tackle, and limit those yards after catch. But like you said, he's on a record-breaking pace for getting the ball out, so it's definitely something we got to be aware of.
As far as like the cornerbacks on the outside, is it like just more man in a situation like that because they do throw short so often?
I wouldn't say that, but I think it's just like more sticky. Like even if you're playing zone coverage, you got to be ready to break on the ball. So schematically, I don't think anything will change. I just think is you got to be ready for the ball to come out quick. And sometimes the pressure not gonna get there. The D-line knows they got to get their hands up, try to bat balls down. But it's just a little different type of week for us.
Your pick last week, you talked before that about like not jumping routes and kind of making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. On that play, it looked like you took a step forward a little bit towards the crossing route, and then was that a moment where you like had to remember what you said?
Yeah, it was just going through like my progression at safety. Like if not, the number 2 receiver ran the seam, I'd have to take it. So I kind of thought that's what he was going to run, but he kind of broke it down, chop, 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 and it was a dig, and that's not my route at all. So like you said, it was one of those moments where I had to understand that I'm a deep player and I got to stay deep, and he ended up throwing me the ball.
I guess just like with Big Ben, it could potentially be his last game in Cleveland. I guess for you guys, just some general thoughts on that, and did you grow up like watching him and things like that?
Oh yeah, I definitely grew up watching him. He's had a great career, a lot of success, a lot of ups and downs. He's been that guy, for all I remember.
Yeah.
So it'll be an amazing game, and this is a division game. I know he wants to win badly, but we do too. So we're gonna try to spoil his party and just go from there.
Some of the guys yesterday talked about like when you play the Steelers. I mean, do you feel like things ramp up during Steelers week, or is that kind of every division game at this point, given how tough the AFC North is?
Yeah, I'm new to this division, but like you said, any division game. I remember the NFC West. We had some tough battles out there, and but definitely this game, I feel like it's a different vibe. I haven't gotten a chance to play the other teams yet, but I could just feel it. I told us earlier in my DMs, like, it's Steelers week, get your mind right. But I'm like, okay, so it's definitely a different vibe. 2 tough teams up north, is cold, and it's going to be fun.
Have you heard from fans at all on social media or anything like, or interactions about this week, about playing Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's Steelers week. I remember, a year ago, like the whole, Juju situation. It's just like, it's a big rivalry. Like, it's never going to be a pleasant game against these guys, and we want to win. We know it's going to be tough and physical, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Do you get that sense from people on the outside, or is that, I mean, you've only been here less than 2 seasons, so is it, you feel that in the locker room, or is that something that even happens in the NFL as far as the rivalry?
I think it's more outside. In this building, we want to win every game. We want to go 1-0 each and every week. It's a division game. These are the 6 games that matter the most. If you win a division, you got a chance to go to the playoffs and continue your season. So this is a huge game for us, first division game, and we want to come away with a win.
Hey, John, did Troy Hill always stick his head in against the run like we've seen him do this year?
Oh, absolutely. Troy's like a guy that's going to do his job. He's going to line up where you tell him to line up, and if you need him to throw his nose in there, he'll do it. So I remember last game, it just seemed like he had a whole drive where it was just him all over the place making tackles. So he's just a phenomenal player. I'm glad he's on our team.
I know you guys are all tough, but he's one of the smaller physical guys out there. So it's just interesting that he doesn't seem to be afraid to do that at all.
No, not at all. And he's done that his whole career. Every time he gets the opportunity to play, he's going to do exactly what you tell him. So like you said, man, he's tough, and he's a smaller guy, but he gets bigger guys on the ground in a hurry. So I'm glad he's on our team, yeah.
And that Steelers, if they ask you this, then don't answer it. But with that Steelers offense, it looks like there's a lot of underneath stuff, but then they still have a couple of guys that can get over the top. So how do you approach an offense like that?
Right. Big Ben's a smart player, so he's going to take what you give him, and that's where you see all the underneath stuff. He has guys that can get yards after catch, but he knows his shot plays. He knows when we're in a coverage where he could take a shot outside, and that's what they do a good job of, like mostly outside shots, and he picks and chooses when he wants to do it, and he's been having success his whole career, so we definitely got to be ready for it.
Yeah, with Miles, is there anything that being around him every day that surprised you about how he plays?
How he plays?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing that surprised me. He works hard. He works hard in the weight room, works hard in the field, comes to work every day, the same person. So nothing really surprised me. I think it's just his work ethic translating on the field.
When you watch the film, do you see him get held a lot?
Held? I mean, it's kind of don't really watch, individual players, but he definitely forces a lot of people to, double him or hold him. So if not, he's going to beat him. So I'm pretty sure that he probably does get held a lot.